We've been talking about transition now for several weeks. Everybody's going to go through one. In fact, each of you are going to go through multiple major transitions in your lifetime, and that should be expected. And as you do, my hope is to help you to understand how to navigate it, how to approach it, how to kind of weave your way in and out of the minutia that sometimes is this overwhelming sense of, oh my God, I don't know what I know what my past is, have no idea what my future is, but I want it. I want it bad. And so that's what we've been talking about. So we've talked about stage one, which is discontent, stage two, which is sometimes more difficult, which is disconnect. We've talked about stage three, which is reconnaissance and discovery. And each of those three are a progressive walk toward the realization of what is new on the other end of it. Now, I want to say a couple things before I talk about re-engagement or redeployment. That's the last stage, by the way. If one gets stuck in discontent, I have seen this time and time again, that leads to all kinds of discouragement. It can lead to depression. It can lead to self-sabotage, because think about this. If you get in a condition where you're discontent and not satisfied and not happy, and you know there's something available to you out here and it's pulling you, but yet you've decided you can't have it, and you just kind of concede, I'm going to be stuck right here, that's a miserable place to live. What about if you go over to disconnect and you're looking at disconnect, and yet it's just too hard to let those people go. It's too hard to make that decision. It's too hard to make that choice to disassociate yourself from an organization or from a career or from a company. It's too difficult to say, I'm not going to do this any longer. I realize I can't do that and be true to who God's called me to be. Disconnect is tough, but man, if you anywhere in that process get stuck and you decide not to disconnect from something you need to disconnect from, here's what happens. You rebound back to discontent. And once again, you're stuck there. Reconnaissance. Now, do you know anybody that is a constant, like, opportunity guru, always seeking out the best idea? Every week they got a new idea, but they're never going to pull the trigger or anything, right? But they're out there, they're looking at possibilities, and they're just like, it's just a plethora of things they could do. But they really never get clarity on the thing. They never get clarity on the path. They really never lock in and say, I'm committed to this. That's what we talked about in reconnaissance and discovery, because at some point you do have to come to stage number 4 of transition. Otherwise, transition is not complete. And that stage 4 is re-engagement. It is deployment. It is pulling the trigger on the thing, taking massive action, spending the money, investing in the deal, going to work and doing the task, whatever it is. I just conducted a writer's workshop here a while back about publishing and what have you. I know so many people that have great ideas for a new book. And in fact, they've got an unbelievable story. And they could sit there and passionately tell you about what they have to offer, but they never do sit down and type the first word or record the first word or hire that writer to help them put the content together. And so at some point, my dear friends, you got to get in the game. I use this metaphor often. Imagine being a football player, man, an American football player. You're suited up, you got your pads on, you got all your gear on, you got your helmet on, you're ready to go, man. And you're on that, you are a part of the team, you are a sanctioned member of that team, and you have a role to play, but you never get your butt out on the field to do anything. Because here's what I know. When you get on the field, you're going to get hit. You get on the field, you're going to get tackled. Get on the field, there's somebody coming after your head, all right? Because that's what life is like. At some point, though, you've got to decide to get off the sidelines and get in the game. You've got to re-engage. Now, let me say this about transitions. Some transitions are instigated through the prism or the event of a massive failure or a huge disappointment, and that thrusts you into transition. A lot of times, if transition is predicated on pain, it becomes more difficult for that person to re-engage over here because they're scared. What if this happens again? What if people let me down again? What if? If you live your life in what ifs, you're going to be a very sad, very unfulfilled, and very miserable individual. I'm telling you, get in the game. If you got to take a couple of hits, take a couple of hits. But re-engagement is the only way you ever realize the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the joy, and the reward of what it looks like to have gone through this entire process. Man, if you handle discontent really well, great. If you handle disconnect really well, well done. That's difficult. If you even move into discovery and you get laser clear on what it is you're supposed to be doing, but you never get in the game, all of this was for naught. Re-engagement. I know a lot of people that quit just before their breakthrough. A lot of people that give up or are frightened out of or allow fear to keep them from getting back in the game. And they could have just had this incredible season of life had they just simply decided to re-engage. Don't you be that person. Wherever you are in your journey right now, know this, there's a better day for you tomorrow, and you just got to get up every day, suit up every day, go out on the field of life and do what it is God has given you to do. Don't stop. Re-engage. It's a very powerful thing. I trust that this teaching on transition has been helpful to you. If you'd like to know more about that, definitely visit our website at brianholmes.com.